reviewed a lot of tonneau covers in my time, and a lot of brands out there claim the same thing. They have the strongest cover out there. They've got the most secure cover out there. Their stays dry the best, and it's the easiest to use. Well, this is the latest, greatest from WorkSports. They have the cover called Nexus. WorkSports says this cover is different. Here's what they say. It's got a new active lock system, which is very easy to use. It stands the cover up towards your cab without leaning on the glass, and it's got several other features as well. Right behind me is my 2024 Chevrolet Silverado Duramax 2500 HD. We're gonna go through a step-by-step install on this cover, and we're gonna see if it's worth the actual cost and if it's actually what they say it is. Let's get started now. So first off, these are different, and this bracket looks different, has nice WorkSports etching on it, and look how thick this seal is on the side. And then this is the Nexus system for the full bed locking. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna grab the long rail, grab the short rail, and the way you look at it is you want a rail towards the end of the bed to lock down. So for example, if I use the other one, it would go like this. You don't want that, you want to lock it at the end. So this is the right one for that rail. Okay, then we're going to take this, these will slide down, and then basically this is going to marry like that using one of these brackets. Okay, so what we're going to do is, right in this bottom one, I'm going to go too deep. All right, so we're going to take this. Try to center it the best I can. And same thing there. We're gonna take it, slide the same path on the other one, get it where it's nice tight. All right, where this is at, once you turn it upside down, okay, but I'm gonna go ahead and take this apart, peel back the backing, peel this back a little bit. All right, then we're gonna take that, and push it back down, and we're all done with that one. Do the same thing on the other side. What we're gonna do is I went and laid these out on each side. Now we're gonna go in the cab, take these here, which I suggest undoing them, get them as loose as you can without coming apart, just like so. Space them out evenly, 4 on each side. We gotta put these on as well. These go on the rails, and you got this little bag here we're gonna use. Take this, okay, and then line it all the way up here in the back. These locking washers, we're going to clamp it down. Tighten it down real good. And we're going to do the same thing to the other side. All right, now grab your 13 millimeter because we're going to need that next. And we're going to put the rail up against here. Slide it all the way to the front. I'm gonna put my first bracket on. This bracket goes in these grooves. Like I said, you gotta make sure you have a little bit of room on that. Once you get that in place, find a spot you're happy with it. You're gonna put 4 on each side. So space them out evenly. When you put these on, you're gonna need to move this thing around. So put that after this, okay? Pretty well spaced out. All those brackets, we're gonna do the same thing on this side. All right, so that side's done, and this side's done. You also have to put on your new bulkhead seal. I had a WorkSports on this before, which is an AL4, so I don't plan to change my bulkhead seal out. But what you guys need to do is get you some isopropyl alcohol and then clean all the way across here, let dry for about 10 minutes, and then apply the foam about 6 inches at a time. Stop here, put pressure down on it, do 6 more inches, put pressure on it, and so on. All right, so this is what I'm gonna tell you. The hard part's done. Like, this cover's almost done. Next thing is, if you need a buddy, take this cover, we're gonna put it on top. A short piece like this needs to go towards the bulkhead. I'm gonna grab the bag that's got these bolts in it, the flat portion on it. You're gonna wanna take this and we're gonna marry it up to that bracket we just put on. So there's a groove under here. Then slide it down, line it up against that hole right there. Then you're gonna take the washer, the locking nut, hand tighten it for now. Do not lock it down. It's a 13 millimeter to get to it, okay? But we're gonna do the other side too. All right, up here's a groove. Here it is, slide it over. And then we gotta lift this up to marry it with that hole right there. Again, that's the washer and the locking nut. Again, I didn't lock those down tight. What I wanna do is roll this bed back. What I want to be sure is that I'm straight. So look at the distance here. Look at the distance there. So I actually need to come over. Look at that. And it just sank in. It sank in. Pretty flush there. Pretty flush there. So what I'm going to do is roll this back up and then I'm going to tighten it up. All right, we could have done this down on the floor or up on top, but I want you to grab these, and this part needs to go towards the cab. I would not recommend using a power tool because you can break the plastic. Use just a screwdriver. All right, now with this thing loose, okay, you want this to line up where it's gonna go right in the center of that. See how that just latched? So this needs to kind of go right here. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna lock down these two here. All right, now we need this to go right in the center a little bit. So washer, this does have a little bit of play in it, okay? So, but you wanna tighten it so it is where it's gonna smack right there in the center. All right, let's talk about cable management. Okay, first off, I went and put them in place so you can see where they're at. Now, here's what I want you to know is, first off, you take this part here, which you'll find probably in the center. That's where mine was at. So run one all the way down here, because that's what your handle is gonna be, all right? And you want one on the other side as well. That's gonna be your release handle. And then this is the bracket that's gonna keep the cable in place where it needs to be. And down in this groove, you'll feel notches. When you put the cable through that, see it comes out here, goes down through it, it will lock. You gotta hear a click. So that one's facing that direction. The same thing here. All right, now this one in the middle, the only thing this one's designed for is to hold the cable down so it doesn't, it doesn't have lax. But however, I want you to look down in here because you will actually find the grooves where this thing goes. And if you don't get it right in the grooves, that will not lock down in place. So it took me a minute. I actually slid back and forth. I found one side first and I was able to slide it over, and then it will sure enough click pretty loud. But the cover is now installed. I do want to go through and show you one other adjustment you may need to do. All right, so each one of these is what you call secure points. What you need is the latching part of the cover has to come down and strike this for it to be secure. Let's check the first one out because we may need to make an adjustment. So we're gonna check that one out right there. I'm gonna lower the cover and it should, see how it's not striking? The problem is the striker is not even latch like close enough. Okay, see how it's just totally missing? So underneath here, there's 2 Phillips screws. I'm gonna unscrew and then slide it over so this part here is actually underneath that bracket. Okay, typically I would actually do this with the cover down just so I can see where it's at. This makes it easier to film, so I'm gonna show you this way. So you just unloosen these up. And then this just becomes a skateboard almost, right? See, it's locked now. So you would do that for any of these that do not line up. We're golden. The cover is on, ready to rock. Show you guys real quick that Nexus system, how easy it is to use. So this is the handle you're gonna pull to unlatch everything, okay? And so when it closes, it locks it down. That's how it works. Same thing on this side. So I'm gonna go down and let you see what it's like down from the ground. Okay, here's a good look at it from the side. It doesn't take up much room at all. So I'm gonna say, from this point on, it's about 6 inches, but I want you to pay close attention to how well we have it installed, because that makes a difference. See how it's pretty much flush with the edge, maybe just a hair off? And I'll show you what it looks like with the tailgate closed as well. Before I do that, I wanna show you what it's all about. Just like that, it's latched. All right, now just what I'm gonna do is pull this, unlatched it. It's that simple. Grab that lock over here, lift it up, and that's how it locks. Want it unlocked, that easy. Now if you want to keep it riding like this, you do have this option here. You can put these in here, pull that up, and you're game. Or what I like to do is just take them and tuck them out of the way. All right, and let me show you one other thing. So up here, so you're not reaching all the way to the middle of it, it's got this pull string. For the most asked question I get, will the tailgate go up with the top down? Yes, it will. All right, guys, let's wrap this up. A couple things I want to tell you about. First off, there's a great deal right now on WorkSports.com for the AL3, where if you use my discount code BOSSAUTO10, it'll save you over $200 on a hard folding tonneau cover, which is one of the best deals out there you can get without a doubt. There will be a link in the description for that cover. As it relates to the Nexus cover behind me, I also have another discount code you can use for $50 off, BOSSAUTO50, which will give you a great price on the newest innovation of tonneau covers. Great cover. A couple things I want to share these covers. First off, if you ever need to repair one of these covers, you know, they got a great warranty program, but if you was to ever need a part, for example, there's no other tonneau cover out there I see where you can get parts as easy. I went out to WorkSports.com. I'll drop a video here to the left, but it'll show you every little part you need out there. So say, for example, you have this cover 10 years down the road and you need one of these little corner pieces. Guess what? You go to the website, you can order it, it's cheap, they'll ship it to you very fast, just like the tonneau covers, and you have a fresh cover all over again. Another thing too is, I did have somebody reach out to me on YouTube that had a similar experience I had with my very first tonneau cover. The guy reached out and says, hey, I don't know what it is, but my cover is extremely hard to open up. It's super heavy. At first I thought he was talking about WorkSports. I was like, wait, that can't happen, because that's just a hard aluminum cover, right? There's nothing to hold water in it. Sure enough, it's another brand, and just like my very first cover, if you watch my videos in the past, my very first cover, what happened is these panels, a lot of companies do it, will fill foam in the center. Well, eventually water works its way down that foam, and before you know it, just this one little panel here is like 100 pounds to lift up. Anyway, that's something that I have to mention about WorkSports. It's a win, but also keep in mind that this cover is also ceramic coated, which I love it because it's super easy to clean off, but something ceramic coated also helps protect against the elements, right? Rocks, so on. So it looks extra nice for an extra long time. If you have any other questions, drop a comment down below. This video is helpful. Please do me a favor, hit the like button. It would mean a lot to my small channel. I want you to have an awesome day. I want to say thanks for your support. Thanks for watching. Take care.